AITA for refusing to let my ex see our child with cancer. We divorced in 2016. He had 50-50. He saw her for 6 days in 2017, 5 days in 2018, 2 days in 2019, and did not visit in 2020 or 2021 until after she was diagnosed. He visited for 45 minutes while she was inpatient and promised to return the following day. Surprise, he didn't. Just like he failed to show up a ton of times in the previous years. I filed for sole custody and was given sole legal custody with him having visitation the first Saturday of the month from 10 to 3. During these previous visits, our child said his wife was mean, would purchase items for their child and nothing for her, took her iPad, that I paid for, and gave it to their son. My child says he leaves her with other people, his parents, grandmother, and aunt. He had her pee on the side of the road once because she needed go and he didn't want her to dirty his car. Today, he sends me a text saying, FYI, I'm picking up X tomorrow. First, I asked our child and she said she does not want to see him. I force her to do a lot of stuff in regards to medical treatment. I don't want to force her for other things. Second, the court order says to use his time he must inform me 72 hours in advance. When I asked if he was sick, he left me on read. Our child is immunocompromised and neutropenic right now. Any illness could very well kill her. I called the attorney and they said as he failed to inform me 72 hours prior I did not have to allow him to pick her up. Third, he does not know how to use any of her medical devices. She has very specific needs right now and needs a caregiver able to meet them. She also doesn't want anyone except our immediate family to see her bald and with her feeding tube. So, I sent a message and told him I would not meet anywhere. However, I would set up a video conference at his convenience tomorrow. Well, he took a screenshot and shared it to Facebook. This is the first time I've ever said no. His post apparently got a bunch of comments about how I'm a monster keeping his child from him when she has cancer. She could die and I'm holding her hostage. He's using it as a vindication post. He has told everyone for years that I hold her hostage because I'm upset about the divorce. I don't think I'm the asshole. But my mom told me I am. She said he's finally making an effort and I'm taking it away from him on a technicality. He didn't even show up to court and I was on the Zoom call in the hospital while my child was getting a lumbar puncture. She said my child is going to know that I'm creating a situation where I'm taking away half her family. My ex-husband's sister is my BFF going on 16 years. So, she still has all her cousins from his side. My mom's words really hurt. She said instead of helping her feel the love from her father during these hard times, I am only thinking of myself. I know legally I'm right. But morally should I let him come? NTA. Your child said she doesn't want to see him. Because of his irresponsibility, you have the legal grounds to not make her see him tomorrow. End of story. NTA. Op. This guy cares more about creating Facebook drama than he does for his child who has medical issues. Shame on him and your mother for making you feel bad. Everyone can butt out. NTA is a person with an absent father. All he's doing is setting her up for disappointment over and over. And you said yourself your child did not want to see him. So you didn't use the 72 hours BC. You didn't want him to see her. She doesn't want to see him. From the looks of it, he's given her every reason not to want to see him. If she wants to see him, sure, let him come to your house and see her, where all her medical devices are at, and you are there if she needs. If that's not good enough for him, well, that's your answer on where he stands. NTA, you're legally in the clear, and most importantly, your kid doesn't want to see him. NTA Your child has clearly stated she doesn't want to spend time with a parent that doesn't even want her around. She may be dying, and that solidified my opinion that she is calling the shots. He is likely milking the story for sympathy, and unfortunately you don't get to provide a rebuttal. However, regarding your mother, exactly what effort is she applauding? He actually contacted you? What a low bar. NTA. Your mom obviously has never been in your position, so she's terrible to take advice from. And because she is putting another's interest ahead of your child, her opinion doesn't matter. Your child is medically vulnerable. There can and may be an emergency while he has her. He can't even plan 3 lousy days ahead of time. Your daughter made her wishes clear. She will be angry if you ignore her. She will be miserable, and deserves never to be, because you didn't protect her from her father. I'm so sorry you are going through this. Make the most of your time. NTA. You aren't specifically banning him from seeing her in your custody? Not allowing an irresponsible father to be responsible for a high-needs child is the responsible thing to do on your end. NTA. You're looking out for your child, and he's posting about her on social media to look like a victim. NTA. From the medical standpoint alone, I'd say no. If he cannot use her medical equipment or knows her medicine schedule, then he isn't being a responsible dad. NTA. He's only asking to see her now to ease his conscience. NTA. She said he's finally making an effort, and I'm taking it away from him on a technicality. Why is he only making an effort now? Where was he in all the years previously? He didn't seem to have time for her back then. What's changed now? Our child said his wife was mean. Would purchase items for their child and nothing for her. Took her iPad, that I paid for, and gave it to their son. Stepmom sounds like a nightmare for your daughter to deal with as. Edit. As far as I'm concerned, your ex has not proven that he should be allowed to have time with your daughter. He made no effort until she was sick. Doesn't sound like he tries when he has your daughter, and lastly ignored court orders and procedures to gain extra time. I think NTA because you are worried about multiple issues and he doesn't communicate. She's had horrid experiences with him and you are protecting her. Your mom thinking he is going to change. What for the 100th time? Isn't who you should listen to nor get advice from. Personally, I think you have the perfect person to ask. Your BFF. His sister. She knows you both and would probably give the best insight. After you settle this, talk to your lawyers about him posting disparaging things on SM. My knee-jerk would have been to responded to his post with, anyone that thinks rationally will know that there are 2 sides to every story. But you go ahead and do you. NTA. I'm furious. I'm petty, and that would be the last time my mother saw my daughter, but my mom would never do that. Edit. You're a good mom. NTA. All he needs to do is provide 72 hours notice and learn how to properly use her medical devices. If he really cared about seeing his child, he would follow the simple steps to do so. It's ridiculous that he's had her for so few days over the past 5 years and he dumped her with other people during that time. Edit. To alter judgment. Approximately how old is your child? An age range is fine if you don't want to be specific. NTA. NTA. He's not making an effort. He's trying to make himself look good. You offered to set up a video call and he decided to go. My ex-wife is evil. All over FB. Not to mention your daughter has said that he leaves her with other people during his visitation time. That he lets his wife emotionally abuse her and steal her personal items. He's reaping what he sowed. NTA. Your ex's needs cannot come before your child's. Not now. NTA. He's failed to be present in your child's life. Does he only want to see her because she has cancer? Also, how does your child feel about their dad? They might not be honest with you, but you have to do what is right. You have every right to deny him. He doesn't know how to use any of the medical devices and didn't give you enough notice. NTA. It sounds like your husband is more interested in being involved in a tragedy than wanting to be involved with his child. I just ended up in the hospital with double pneumonia from a small cold one of the kids had because I was immunosuppressed. That is really a very critical medical issue. Do some search on statistics. And then insist he see her alone at the house for as long as she is willing so he doesn't tire her out. The research is to explain why you are doing this to a judge if he complains. NTA. Please record all of the time he isn't using for his custody. Custody is use it or lose it. You can go to your lawyer and ask for it to be adjusted accordingly.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.